Hi, I'm Dylan, and today I'm going to be making a hopefully short and concise video on how to get started with Pytesting in your Python project. So, if you don't have a virtual environment set, then please make sure to do that first. You can check out my previous video on how to set up a Python virtual environment. And once you've done that, you can come back here and get started with Pytest automated testing. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to want to do is, assuming you have already activated the virtual environment, you're going to do pip install Pytest, Pytest mock, and Pytest cub for code coverage. Now, in my case, I have already installed them, so it's going to do it super quickly, but in your case, it might install, dependencies and packages and all that stuff. So once you've done that, you're going to create a folder called tests. And if you're in VS Code, you're going to want to configure your Pylance testing tab. So we're going to go here to testing, configure Python tests, and click on Pytest framework, and tests directory is our testing directory. So once we've done that, we can go here and click on new file and start making tests. So we're going to do a test file called testexample.py, and we are going to import Pytest, and from Pytest _mock import mocker fixture. And then we're going to go to our example file and import sum and is sum even. So the first thing we want to do is we want to test sum with several cases, for example. So we're going to go ahead and do def test sum, and we're going to do a comma b. Assert sum of a comma b is equal to expected. And here we're going to add expected as well. So you might be wondering, where do we get these parameters from to make different cases for this test function? Really, what is this for? Basically, what we're going to do here is Pytest mark parametrize. And we're going to do a comma separated string list, and we're going to do a comma b comma expected, and we're going to make a tuple of tuples of the cases that we want to test. So in this case, for example, let's say we know 1 plus 1 should be equal to 2, 10 plus 10 should be equal to 20, 25 plus 25 should be equal to 50, right? And so what this is going to do is, if we save the file, we're going to see that this pops up here. Well, in this case, you see this tick, but you should see a couple of arrows pointing to the right. This is because I have already done this a couple of times already. You're going to go here, and you are essentially, if we reload this, you're going to see that you get the test sum test. If you run it, you're going to get a success on all of these. And what it is basically doing is it's testing each case individually and asserting that the result is the expected result. Let's say we wanted to test cases where we have an exception raised. So if not is instance a comma int raise type error, for example, what we would do is test some raises with Pytest raises type error. And here we're going to do sum a string comma 2, for example, right? And so if we go ahead and test this, then it is going to give us success because it is effectively raising type error. That is just really, really basic unit testing or Pytesting for a function that doesn't really call any other functions. But let's say that you want to test a function that calls another function that you yourself have defined and tested elsewhere. Generally, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to mock this result as something that is successful in some cases, or if you're testing a case where you have a specific exception handling, you're going to want to mock that exception result. And the way we do that is very, very simple. We're going to do def test is sum even. And we are going to do assert is sum even 1, 1 is true. You could also leave it as just a standard assertion. And if we do it this way, what you're going to notice is that if we test it with coverage, it goes through this function as well, because you can see that this is marked in green. And sometimes what you want is for tests to be sort of isolated to the function you're testing. So we're going to add here mocker fixture, and we're going to do mock sum is equal to mocker patch, and we're going to put the path of the function in the module that it is. So in this case, it is example.sum. And we're going to do return value is equal to 2, because 1 plus 1 is 2. And what we're going to do here is we're going to do the same assertion that we had before, but we can also assert that mock sum is being called with 1, 1, effectively. So that is also allowing us to test that the logic of the function is working as we expect, and that it is using the corresponding arguments that we want for the function called inside. So if we save this, we're going to see that the result is the same, really. But if we do this, for example, if we do a equals 5, you're going to notice that it is going to give out an error, because even though the result is good, because we have the return value mocked to 2, it is raising us an exception because the function itself is being called with 5, 1. So it is really, really useful in that sense, because it can help you find logic problems and different kinds of issues besides results themselves. That's about it for today for some basic Pytesting. So if this video has been useful for you, or any of our other content or open source projects are useful for you, please don't forget to hit the like button, to subscribe, and if possible, if you can contribute by donating to us, it is always welcome. So yeah, have a very nice day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.